relations. May we honor those teachings. Members of the public, staff, presenters, and members of council, please be advised that meetings are broadcast and recorded and made available on the internet. Are there any declarations of pecuniary interest or the general nature thereof? Seeing none, please note that in the minutes. We have our minutes of February the 27th, 2024 before us. Can I have someone move and second them? Moved by Councillor Henry, seconded by Councillor Boyko. Any errors or omissions? No. All in favor? It's carried. Thank you. Any discussion out of the minutes? All right, so we have, first of all, a couple of staff introductions with us today. We have Nicole Hendricks and Robert. You're going to welcome her, introduce her.
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor and Council. I'd like to take a moment to introduce our latest addition to the building and planning staff, Nicole Hendricks. She's our new administrative assistant for planning and bylaw. She comes to us with a good amount of experience at another local municipality in a similar role. So we're excited that to see the experience that she brings to us, and glad that she's here with us.
Thank you very much. Well, welcome. And we'll be seeing you around the office, I'm sure. And we also have Rain Dow and Lane. You're going to introduce her.
Sure. Thank you, Madam Mayor. Yeah, I'm pleased to introduce to council our newest member, financial services team, Rain Dow. Rain joined our team last Monday, tax due date. Nice day to start. In the role of financial services assistant, water and sewer. She comes to Selwyn with a good cross section of financial experience from the private sector. Most recently in the payroll services area, so it adds a little bit more depth to our department that way as well. Throughout Rain's work experience, customer service has been at the core of what she has completed. Her attention to detail is exactly what we need in our department, and looking forward to her displaying that in her new role here at the township. She's dealt with a wide range of clients, and that's going to serve her well here as she begins her career in the public sector. Rain's a Selwyn Township resident and eager to get involved in the service team here and begin her public sector career. This is Rain.
No questions.
Our first report is by Adam Tobin for the pickup truck procurement.
Thank you. Through you, Madam Chair. Bringing a report to council today for approval to proceed with issuing an RFP for 2 pickup truck purchases for the new water and sewer department. Like approval to go ahead and issue the RFP and then come back at a later date with recommendations on award of the RFP. As you know, staff have done a great job over the years trying to make sure that the water and sewer rates are well defined. That system is a user pay system, so we typically separate those budgets. We don't coincide them with taxation budgets in the fall. We bring the water sewer budgets back in the spring. So that budget will be coming back to council in May. So what we're really looking for approval to do now is ahead of that budget to go ahead and issue this RFP, like I said, and then come back with a recommendation on award so that we can order these trucks for our kind of July 1st transition or takeover of the water and sewer operations.
Okay, thank you. Are there any questions? Councillor Boyko?
Through you, Mayor Senes, to you, Adam, I approve of this or will approve of this. And I understand going to the General Motors product, so they're consistent with the others vehicles that we have. My question is with respect to our climate plan and mitigating our carbon footprint. Is there an option with these vehicles for an electric or a hybrid model?
Thanks, through you, Madam Chair. We did kind of entertain that idea and we
Yeah.
looked at different options. The hybrid vehicle or hybrid truck market right now, or the electric truck market, there are some vehicles coming out there right now. We didn't really want to make that kind of investment at this stage, just given the uncertainty on those larger trucks. We looked at something more compact. We looked at smaller vans or smaller SUVs. Given the nature of the work, we're pulling sewage pumps, we're replacing fire hydrants. We just can't really get away with a lighter duty vehicle. We did think about that and we were trying to look at the climate impact, but really having two vehicles that would be shared amongst a staff of 4, they need to be interchangeable. They need to be able to do everything. So even switching one vehicle to a smaller van would mean that, you know, if somebody had the truck, they have to run back at the van and drive away. You'd lose any kind of efficiency. So we did consider that. Unfortunately, I don't think it's practical in this application.
Okay, I understand. Thank you.
And can, Deputy Mayor Black.
Councillor Boyko beat me to both questions.
Okay. All right, so I'm looking for someone to move the recommendation. Councillor Coulis, seconded by Councillor Henry, all in favor? That's carried. Thank you. We will move on now to Chief Joplin. We're going to be talking about our medical tiered response agreement.
Through Mayor Senes, this report has been a long time coming, to say the least. So council or councils for the last number of years have seen our call numbers increase substantially. So when got talking and we sat down, we actually, all of us fire chiefs in the county sat down with our EMS chief, and he spit out that this can be changed. It wasn't long going to Jan and said, we're going to have a meeting. So, and through those meetings that we are not the only ones. So OSM has passed, Peterborough is passing or has passed. So the sooner we can get this through, the sooner thing we can start to lessen the number of medical calls we're getting that we shouldn't really be going to, and take some of the onus off our firefighters. Because, you know, as you see in through the report, the numbers are ridiculous. So it would be nice to cut this in half, be optimistic, but wait and see. So it'll all depend on what the deal goes through with CAC and with the EMS chief. So, and hopefully it'll be a good thing and good things will come of it. So.
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Are there any questions? Deputy Mayor Black.
Thank you through you, Mayor Senes. Yeah, great report. I think, you know, I brought it up a few times that, you know, having worked in healthcare, understand, you know, kind of the situation that was happening there. So hopefully this is a good balance between giving our volunteer fire folks enough time in the field to keep skills up, but also take back some of those really unnecessary calls. And I completely support the idea of the money. If there is money saved this year, that it goes into our capital reserve. I know Councillor Boyko's brought that up a number of times as well. So I think it's a great report, and hopefully all the parties can work together to make those numbers come to reality. It's great to have an agreement, but it's in the work at the end of the day that you know, the outcome is that we want has to be achieved through constant monitoring and upgrading of staff and policies and procedures. So great report.
Are there any other questions? Seeing none, I know that this report is supposed to be coming to County Council to our next meeting. So as soon as this gets approved, if it can be shipped off to them so they have it as an attachment, that'd be great. Can I have someone move it, please? Deputy Mayor Black, Councillor Henry, all in favor? It's carried. Thank you. Move on to consent items. Is there anything that anyone wants pulled?
Mayor Senes, I would like 5B pulled.
Okay. Councillor Coulis.
7, the county report, please.
Okay. And Deputy Mayor Black.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, thank you. So we'll go first to 5B, which is the water and sewer transition update. What questions do you have?
Thank you. Through you, Mayor Senes. I have great respect for how hard our staff is working to implement the transition from PUG to our own both operations and to our finance. I can imagine the complexity involved. The questions I have are not with respect to operation, but with respect to finance. Water and sewer has now taken over after 2 years. It was Lakefield South that everybody wanted to talk to people, but now it's water and sewer. And so I have a couple of questions. One, I'll ask first and then get an answer and go to my second one. The first is one that I brought up in our last meeting with respect to monthly billing. And I was told that there's a software issue that we may be able to do it. So has the software issue been addressed, and are we able to go to monthly billing? And if so, how can people be made aware that monthly billing is an option?
Lane?
Sure, to you, Madam Mayor. Yeah, so I guess with respect to our software, it isn't, it's tailored to the water and sewer billing market, which is traditionally bi-monthly billing. So that's the setup is traditionally bi-monthly. We did work with our software supplier, and we can indeed we bill bi-monthly, but we can accept payments on a monthly basis. We also can we've now set up a pre-authorized monthly as well. It takes a little bit more work on behalf of staff, but Eric has worked diligently to get that done. We had that figured out kind of early days, and we weren't sure how many folks wanted it. So a number of folks did reach out. So we started circulating information in our welcome letters, providing that information through any calls or anything that we have. And we've actually had a really good uptake of folks in pre-authorized billing and also in pre-authorized monthly. So yeah, definitely anybody that reaches out, we have actually circulated information in the original bill that went out. And so folks would have the ability to do that. So yeah, if anybody from council hears of anybody in the community that wants to do that, wants to do either pre-authorized on a installment basis, basically as the bills are due, or pre-authorized monthly, then they can just reach out or pop into the office and we can accommodate that. Sure.
Well, sorry. Yeah.
You had a second question?
Yeah, my second question, thank you, through you, Mayor Sen, is the report that I can't see came out last week, and I know that there's been more work that has been done since then. So I wonder if there's anything that you would like to add to what is written in the report that you can, elucidate a little bit more on things that have come to light since then.
Sure. Yeah, so just to follow up on that last comment too, we've definitely been circulating information to all of our customer base. PUG had actually included bill inserts or bill comments rather on all their bills from back into November. So, and yeah, we do get phone calls that basically say, why didn't I know about this? Well, it's been on your bill from PUG. It's been in the bill. There was an insert in there, right? Our social media. So, there are folks definitely that are just saying, I didn't know. Well, we've provided all the information, definitely. So, with respect to that transition, everybody at the front counter, and I would say even wider than that, as our customer service team is aware of the new software that we're using, so they all have access to that. Erica, as the lead on this, has circulated everybody at the front. Every time we do a website update, we add information. We push that out to the staff at the front as well. So anybody that were to make a phone call, to send in an email, to reach out to any staff member, they would be directed to the website for further information. We would try to get their email address, send along forms, and definitely it's to the customer's benefit and our benefit to have as many folks enrolled in electronic billing. So through eSend, we can send that bill electronically, so we can save in the cost of paper, postage, everything else. And then if they sign up for pre-authorized or pay through virtual town hall, then they can make those payments electronically as well. So it saves everybody a lot of time and paperwork. So Yeah, we're working through all of those things. I can't say really enough about the PUG staff in terms of how they were able to turn around a massive quantity of information in a short period of time. They provided all that information on agreed upon dates. There was one point where we actually thought that they may miss a date. They didn't realize the critical nature of that date to us with respect to the GP system going online, our new billing system. And they did turn that around, and we were dealing with folks well into the night on a Friday, and they stayed at it and made sure we got the good data. So I can't really say enough about them. Of course, as we embark on any new collection process with respect to, well, really any collection method, but water and sewer in particular, it's one of those areas that is near and dear to people's hearts in terms of water and sewer. And I think folks understand the importance of it. At the same time, that's probably one of those products that folks will say that they pay too much for. So it's one of those things it's critical to survival, but at the same time, there's a critical eye with respect to how much it costs. So we're fielding those calls as well, despite the fact that we've always been responsible for setting those rates. It's always been a township responsibility. I've said to the council in a few information emails, it's early days for us still. It's 12 days since the bills went out. Nothing on this set of bills is actually due until the end of the month. And as we work through some of these outstanding accounts that we have taken over, we're trying to kind of come up with a fair method for dealing with it. By far the majority, and by majority not 60%, but 80, and even recently I've looked at the accounts again, as high as 85% of all our accounts are just cleared up after the bills are sent out. So, but within the collection process, we do have some folks that want to push the envelope a little bit in terms of how things work. I think in all of our messaging now, we've set up a collection process based on legislative responsibility to us, based on our bylaws. And I'll be the first one to say that we definitely can look at some of our policies and procedures and always find room for improvement. But we're looking at that now, and we'll be rolling that out over the next few months as we bring information back to council on water and sewer.
Excellent. Thank you.
Okay, and Deputy Mayor Black.
Thank you. Through you, Mayor Sennis. Thanks, Lane, for the update. I think it's important for the public to hear all the hard work that's going into this transition. Any transition is not easy. There's always a few surprises that rear their head. And I think there's been a few, but obviously staff is working through it, and I know council appreciates that. The one thing that I did read in one of your reports was that overdue accounts can be applied to the taxes. And can you maybe talk about that process? It's legislation, I'm assuming, that it can be applied there.
Sure. Through you, Madam Mayor. Yeah, with respect to water and sewer, in most instances, it is a municipal responsibility, but even if you do have a utility that's involved in it, so say the Peterborough example, they have their own water commission, but then they have a relationship with the city as well. There is a method where that can be, it's just referred to in the industry as tax rolled. So there's a specific section in the Municipal Act that allows for that. And a number of municipalities have been using it most recently, especially since the pandemic. What it allows, and in our collection method, it basically outlines that once you get past a certain number of days in arrears, it can be applied back against the tax roll. It's outlined in provincial legislation. It's outlined in the information that we provided to our customers since we've taken over the billing. It removes, would you say, some of the that issue to do with confrontation, about shutting off water, those types of things, which it's always a volatile situation, and it's never a good situation for a municipality to be involved in, for sure. And I know since a number of municipalities have done that, it's not only reduced their arrears, but it's just taken that whole adversarial approach away from it. So it's definitely a provincial legislation that's been in place for a long time.
Follow up through you, Mayor Sennis. Thanks for that explanation. So people are aware that that's an option for the municipality down the road, and understanding that any tax arrears are collected on the sale of a property. So the township will be will be full, at that point down the road. If people are, late in paying, is that reported to Equifax or any of the other credit agencies for the township? Is that part of the,
Yeah.
reporting process?
Yeah, so through Madam Mayor, definitely as we lay out our own new collection process here, that's definitely one of the tools that we would be using as well. We have tenants that would have some arrears from the past. We have some tenants that we're dealing with the homeowner right now, trying to take a look at that. No matter what we end up figuring out with that, if there is the ability to collect from a tenant that's no longer in the area, that will be going away to collections. I'm not sure if it's Equifax that we have used in the past, but we have had success with the collection company through some of our arena rates in the past. And so we would definitely be doing that.
Final follow-up.
Okay.
So credit reporting agencies, those not collection agencies, is a bad debt reported to a collection or a credit agency where it goes against their credit rating?
Yeah,
Is that typical policy?
yeah, through Madam Mayor, to Deputy Mayor, I'd have to just confirm the approach that our collection company uses. They, once again, they are a collection agency, so they can be maybe a little bit more aggressive than the municipality can be. But they are the face of the municipality at the start. So we always try to take an approach where we provide them with correspondence and a chance to reach out to the municipality to, but I can't confirm that. I'm just not aware of that right now, but I can confirm that.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go through all the things that have been pulled and then we will approve the consent items all at once we're done. Is that okay, Madam Clerk?
Yeah, yes, that's fine. I was just going to say for those that can't access the files, we'll just pull it up on the screen so you can have a look
Okay,
at it.
yeah, for some reason, the computers are acting up.
Yep, okay,
Yeah.
yep.
All right, we will move on now to correspondence item number 12. Deputy Mayor Black. Frontnet. Yeah.
So I think the letter from Frontenac, the resolution supporting, supporting a letter to the province requesting that the tax credit for volunteer firefighter to $10,000 annually. That's a incentive, I think, as to get more volunteers. But that's the chief job of it. That is a subject that comes up in conversation with volunteers now. It's the tax credit enough, or do they feel that they can?
Chief Coupling.
Mayor Senes. So that's the Canadian Association of Fire Chiefs has tabled this with the federal government 4 years ago. As from a member, if I'm right, Alberta, and it's still in action today. It has been, but it, especially I'm going to say maybe more so for our people that do a pile of hours, it would definitely benefit for sure. So I think this is coming forward again. Frontenac, County Frontenac's another busy municipality, and a lot of us like that. It would definitely benefit our members, that's for sure. It's just a case of getting it through the federal government, another bill, so.
Yeah, so I would support the resolution, and ask for council support for the resolution. I think we're very, very fortunate to have a good, roster of dedicated volunteers here. And, if they were all full-time firefighters, we'd be, well, none of us would probably be sitting here if that ever happened, but, I think it behooves us to support a resolution that, will help with the recruitment and retention of firefighters volunteered.
So you would like a motion to support the town of Frontenac for the, yeah,
I'll make
Okay.
that motion, yeah.
all right. Do we have a seconder? Councillor Boyko? All in favor? It's carried, thank you. All right, and number 15 was pulled, and I believe that's to do with the increased funding for libraries and museums in Ontario from the town of Lincoln. And as council knows, we did have a delegation to the Associate Minister, Laura Smith, for the Minister of Culture, and it was on this very thing as far as libraries go. And I have been advised by our MPP that the brief that we prepared and took to that presentation is being used by the minister to go to their finance committee to request increased funding for the library. So if we support this, then we're also supporting what we've already done to try and increase funding. So if someone would like to make a motion because I'm sitting in the chair. Councillor Koulis and Councillor Boyko, all in favor? It's carried. Thank you. We're moving on to Peterborough County Report. Councillor Koulis.
Thanks for you. I'm most curious about the watershed plan. It seems like something that'd be very divided across the county. So I'm just wondering from our county representatives if we could have a bit more background on the current situation. And then the question I have relates to, have they thought about to reduce cost partnering with Fleming or Trent to carry out the research? Because I believe some of that's already being done by those institutions.
Yeah, so I'll pass it to Deputy Mayor Black in a moment, but
Yep.
yeah, we did have a very lengthy discussion on this subject at our last county council meeting, and there were 3 options that were provided, and council chose to go with asking staff to come back with a report on the various levels that would be provided for watershed planning and the costs that would be incurred for doing so. And I don't believe there was a timeline on it, but staff is being tasked to come back with that. And I believe that, both the universities and the colleges could play a part to some extent. They don't have the expertise in some areas, but that could form part of the partnerships because conservation authorities have already provided some of the information with that regard. So we're waiting on further information, and we already know where we can't develop. I think our building department director would agree with that. Developers know where they can't develop due to cultural mapping to a certain extent. And it might, at the end of the day, be mandated by the province that we don't have to do these watershed studies, because there's talk that if the growth plan disappears, and that can happen, it could be that I believe the way the PPS is written, the new one, would be that municipalities may do watershed studies rather than shall. So at the end of the day, we might not even have to do them. Anyway, I don't know if you want to comment on it as well.
Thank you, Mayor Sennis. Yeah, that was a good synopsis of kind of the discussion. And part of the issue at county council last week was there's a breadth of studies and depth and that you can do a watershed study on. And it wasn't clear to council how much each, what level of study we need, how much it would cost, and what is the benefit to the municipalities to get a higher level watershed study done. Because, as Mayor Sennis said, really the development areas, we know where the development areas are in the county. There's 4 of them, basically. So why would you do a watershed study over the complete county? And the watersheds don't have boundaries. There are no municipal boundaries in watersheds. So that is another part of where do you stop the study? Where do you begin the study? and really, you know, in most of these developments, you know, the aquifer that's associated with the development is studied in depth and detail, natural heritage, water balancing, all these things are done by the developer when they do the development. So it's kind of, you know, at what level of study do we really need when really the detailed study has to be done at the site anyway? So, Orca was also brought up in the conversation because they are responsible for water. And I did speak to Orca after the meeting, and the majority of the work that they're doing, they have a legislative responsibility to create a watershed report by the end of this year or October. And I did confirm with them that the majority of the work that they're doing can be passed on to the county as well. So again, there needs to be more discussion between the county planning department and Orca to see where there's crossover, what studies they can use, because it's very expensive. There was $1 million put in a budget to do this, and we only have $55,000 in development charges. 75,000, thank you. $75,000 in the budget right now that we've collected in development charges to do this. So there's a big spread on how many dollars we have and what we can get. So we've asked staff to come back, as the mayor said, with more of a scale of, okay, we do this, this is what it's cost, here's the benefit if we do this. And where can we tie in with Orca and the colleges and universities as well, to come up with a report. And then the final factor, is the mayor said, is the province may say you don't have to do them anyway. So I think we need more information, I guess, before we can make a decision at county on whether to do a bigger study or not.
Okay, any other? No? Okay. All right, so I think we pulled everything and talked about everything that was requested. So can I have a motion to receive and accept the consent items that are before us? Councillor Henry, Councillor Koulis, all in favor? That's carried. Thank you. And we will now move on to other new and unfinished business. And Councillor Koulis, you had a comment?
Yes, through you, thanks. I just want to make everyone aware of the 44th annual Ennismore Optimist Club Wildlife Dinner and Auction coming up. I just saw the poster at the community center, and I just want to highlight it's May 4th, 2024, 6 p.m. entrance, dinners at 7. It's at the Ennismore Curling Club as usual. Tickets are $60, age of majority event. And if you want to contact Randy Horton, he has the tickets. And I know a bunch of other Optimist members have tickets because they bought tables and they distribute us that way. So just make everyone aware, May 4th.
Excellent. Thank you. Deputy Mayor Black.
Just by way of announcement, I want to wish everybody happy St. Patrick's Day. I've got
There you
this
go.
lovely tie my wife made for me this morning. Because I don't have a green tie.
You do now?
I do now. But recognizing obviously the important heritage Irish settlers have in our community and around our community, not just in Selwyn, but you know, also recognizing you know, our Indigenous First Nations as well as all of the other settlers that have come to this area to make this such a wonderful place to live. We're really blessed in Selwyn Township to have such a great mix of folks that make this a great place to live. So just want to express that and say happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone, and you know, enjoy your time. Not too much, but enjoy St. Paddy's Day. We can all be Irish on one day.
And where's the whiskey?
It's in the bottle. It's in the bottle right now.
Okay. All right, thank you. And is there any other announcement? No? All right, so we will look for 2024-013 authorizing Strickland Street tender. Moved by Councillor Koulis, seconded by Deputy Mayor Black. All in favor? Confirming bylaw 2024-012, Councillor Boyko and Councillor Koulis, all in favor. That's carried. Thank you, and adjournment. Councillor Boyko, oh, sorry. Councillor Henry and Councillor Boyko, all in favor. That's carried. Thank you.